What's up? You know what time it is. It's Who Is Roise, and you checking out Hip Hop since 1987.
Shout my hip hop since 1987, niggas. HipHop since 1987.com.
What's good? It's your boy Rick Dange here with an artist that's definitely making moves that if you haven't heard him before, you're going to be hearing about him soon. My man, Who Is Roise. What's good with you, bro?
What's up, man? Not much, man. You know, a lot of work. What's up?
Well, it's a pleasure to have you on the camera today. This is definitely your first time on my camera, so for the people that don't know you, tell them how you got your name and tell them where you're from.
I mean, name Who Is Roise, man. It's a long story behind that, man. But you know, I'm from the Bronx, New York, and shit, it's been a hell of a journey, but we here, right? I feel like that should sum up everything. I don't want to get too much into detail, but shit, it was a long journey, man. From years of doing this, you know what I mean? I've been doing this for what, 10 years. Really working on it for 5 years. Really, like, actually putting my feet to the pavement, you know what I mean, for 5 years. And it's been a hell of a grind. It's been tough, but you know, I'm here, so.
Okay. Now, you say you're from New York. Definitely one of the hardest cities. If you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. What was your life like growing up?
Oof, a bunch of moving around, you know, so shit, yeah, there's a bunch of moving around, but you know, I kind of like, no matter how far we moved, like I always kind of stuck to the Bronx, you know what I mean? It started in Mitchell's Projects, ended up in Castle Hill Projects, and that's really like, that's where I'm at in the Bronx. But I'm putting on for my city. It's bigger than just the Bronx. I'm putting on for my city, man. That's what I'm trying to do here.
Okay. Now, what actually influenced you to do music, and how did you get into music?
Sheesh. Like all my life, you know, like I'm from hip hop. You know what I mean? Like that's my culture. Like I live it, I breathe it. Like I feel like the artists understand me. Everybody that's involved in it, damn near, like from when I started listening to it, was capable of understanding everything that I've been through, everything that I would go through. I didn't even know that I was gonna go through. Shit that I didn't know I was gonna go through. Being arrested, to being profiled, to, you know, relationships, to just hip hop music. Like artists in hip hop, they understand my mind. You know what I mean? They understood me before I understood myself. And that's how I got into hip hop, because I felt like it was something that I understood, but it was also something that understood me. So I was drawn to it naturally.
Okay. Now, what separates you from other artists that make music?
Man, it's a lot that separates me from other artists. Like, I'm not one that's gonna, you know, I'm not gonna sell you a dream. I'm not gonna sell you a dream. You always gonna get me. You know what I mean? Aside from that, you know, my music stands out on its own. You listen to my music, it speaks for itself. It tells you, like, I'm one of the artists that'll tell you exactly what I'm going through. Where I'm at is real. That's what separates mine. There's no gimmick to it.
Okay.
There's no gimmick to it.
So how would you actually describe your music?
Raw feeling, emotion, what I'm going through at the time. If I'm experiencing happiness, you're gonna hear the happiness in my music. I'm experiencing, you know, times of discomfort, you're gonna hear the discomfort in my music. Like that's really what it's mood based.
Okay.
You know, so that's what separates. I feel like that's what's separating my past project from the project I'm currently working on. Is like the mental space that I'm in. I feel like as a human being, I'm constantly growing. So in my music, you'll hear the evolution. You'll hear it, and it's happening fast because I'm experiencing a lot at one time. You know, so that's really it.
Okay. Well, who are your favorite artists and why?
Man, it's a million. I can't lie. For real, when I tell you like hip hop really like it means everything to me. Like it's my favorite artist, man. I don't even know if I got a particular order of them. I just listen to them more. But we do, you throw Hove in there, you throw Biggie in there. Of course, you have to. The GOATs. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to offend nobody with this, but I'm not a crazy Pac fan. But I respect what he did. I respect his hustle. I respect his work ethic. Because that was something, that he showed was work ethic, passion for it, and passion for what he believed in. So I did learn from Pac, but I wasn't a Pac fan. So, and plus that really wasn't my era. I was still a little kid.
Okay.
Even Biggie wasn't my era, but it kind of, I feel like Biggie's music it still gets played today, like more than Pac music does, like in the clubs. So it's like, it was more popular, I feel like on a party level.
Okay.
So I heard a lot of Biggie, and it made me want to listen more. So we got Hove, Biggie, the whole Dipset, because that was my wave. I'm from Uptown. We talk the Locks, Jada Kiss, Chic, and SP. I still listen to SP the Ghost. Who else we got? I listened to a couple of joints from the Wu-Tang. Not gonna tell you I was a super fan of them, but it is certain songs that I like that they made, individually as well, collectively and individually. We got Mano. I like Uncle Murder. Like I fuck with 50. Like I keep name dropping all day. Who we got? T.I. We got Jeezy. We got who else? Funny thing is, even if you take it back, it's funny because my mom's made me listen to KRS-One, right? And this one record that he made that stuck out to me is I forgot the name of it, but it's like, I know a drug dealer by the name of Peter. I had to buck him down with my 9mm. That joint right there, like I fuck with that. So I really I did my homework on music, and it's just like I said, man. It's more than that. I missed a lot of names, but the list goes on, man. That's just to name a few.
All right, let's talk about the business a little bit. Do you want to get a deal, or do you want to stay independent?
I mean, at this point, I'm not opposed to either or. You know what I mean? As long as it makes sense. Okay. As long as it makes sense, then it's a conversation I'm willing to have.
All right, well, let's talk about the music a little more. What projects have you released, and what are you currently working on?
All right, so the Who Is Roise project was actually my first project. It's streaming on all platforms. That was my first and actually only project that I released in I believe it was March 31st of this year. Okay. And I'm currently working on Motivated, which is my second, which would be my second actual EP. The first one had 14 songs with features, like I had Luca Cash on there, I had Mano, who else I put on there? Bass Swag was on that one, Dice Peso was on that one, K Sneaky was on that one. Yeah, I had a few features for that first joint, and this second mixtape is just me. Okay. Yeah, so this is just me. I started practicing with the auto tune, just to see what I could do, creatively with my levels and where I'm at in life right now. I'm in a different space than I was then. I was fresh out hitting clubs, and so you'll hear a lot of that in my first project. You'll hear the talk about the Rollie, which I don't have on right now. I still wear some of my jewelry, but I don't wear as much as my jewelry as when I first got it. But it was just everything hitting me at once. It was strip clubs, it was attention, it was going out, it was showing out, it was this, it was that. And that shit, when you hear that first project, I feel like it's a classic. If you listen, I have I haven't let one person listen to that project yet, and they have not told me that that's a solid project.
Right.
Like, you know, which is why I took my time to work on it. I don't just put out anything. That's another thing that separates me from other artists. I don't put out anything, but this new project is more relaxed. Like, I'm trying to cater this one towards my girl is.
Okay.
Like, literally not girls, but my specific female. Like, I'm trying to cater it to her ears. See if she likes it, see if she gets a feel for it, like, because that's a market that I'm going for now. It's like I'm trying to tap into that Roise rather than the loud, raunchy, you know, flashy, because that's the typical hip hop artist is the flashy one when it comes out in furs and jewelry. It's expected, but it, you know, is it really you? Is that really what you want to do? Can you, like, are you really creating, or are you making music for people that you think this is what they want? See, that's the difference between my first project and the project that I'm working on now. First project was me. I thought for people. I thought this is what people wanted, and don't get me wrong, it's a solid project. It's a solid project, but I want to be able to ride to my music. I want to be able to cruise to my music. I don't feel like every time I go out, I'm not in the mood to party. I'm not in the mood to bounce around. So,
okay, now,
you know, that's where the second project, Motivated, comes in. Motivated is more toned down on the glitz, the glamour, and you know, of hitting the strip clubs. Because now we talk about glitz and glamour. I'm not talking about celebrity glitz and glamour. I'm talking about hood glitz and glamour. We talking about strip clubs. We talking about throwing out thousands of dollars. We talking about flashing, you know, jewelry and, you know, renting cars that fucking people own. So, you know, it's just a bunch of blowing money. It's a bunch of blowing money, and like, at some point, it makes no sense no more to keep doing it.
right.
Like, it makes no sense to keep doing it because it's no longevity in it. When you realize that you live in this life, you're doing all of this, when you turn around and you look back at this, like, where did all of that go?
Right.
It went into the music, which is good. I got the music out of it, but nothing back from it.
Right.
So now it's a different mindset. It's a different way of attacking. Now it's actually me. So that's what Motivated is. That's the difference between the two projects. One was happy. The other one is just like me. I'm just giving y'all me, what I go through on my day to day. There's still a little bit of that first. Like, don't get me wrong, I didn't completely dump off, you know, everything I did. I still got 1 or 2 tracks that's gonna give you the same feel of the first album, but the second one is gonna be more of something that you could drive to, something you could ride to. It's people could play back.
Okay.
That's really what I want. I don't want nobody to listen to the project and say that's a good project. I want them to listen to the project and then go, yo, you know what? I think I could listen to that again. It's time to listen. Like, let me see if I get something different out of it.
Do you have a release date?
Not exactly. I have an idea. I know I'm trying to get it out before the end of this year. So, well, not trying to. I'm gonna get it out before the end of this year. I'm just not sure what date we looking at. I was thinking about October 31st, but I'm not sure because it's still songs that I have, like, in the works right now that I'm liking. I'm not sure which ones I'm gonna place on, which ones I'm not.
Okay.
So it's still part of the strategy.
So, being that you want to release it soon, do you already have a single that you're working for the project?
Yes, it's called Mrs. Gatsby.
Okay. Tell us about the single, production, everything.
All right. So Mrs. Gatsby is, if you're familiar with The Great Gatsby, the movie The Great Gatsby, it was about a rich guy that threw these extravagant parties, right? So the spin-off to that was Mrs. Gatsby. It's about a freaky female. It's like a freaky joint, like a freaky female, you know, and you know which everybody got. Everybody got that I feel like everybody got somebody in their life that they know, you know what I mean, that you could hit up on any night, you know what I mean, or that hit you up. You know what I mean? She go out, have a good time, and it'd be a million guys that want her, a million people that want her, and she hit you up at the end of the night. So that's what Mrs. Gatsby was about. It's the party girl that chose me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's really that. To sum it up, that's really what it's about. The party girl that's free, and nobody know that she's a freak.
Is the video already out?
Nah, the video's not out yet.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna work with a producer from Atlanta on the video. I already I have it in the works right now, but I have the cover art for it and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, it's way different than anything I ever did, and it's actually funny that you asked me that, because when I worked on it, my engineer asked me that. He said, "Yo, what made you come up with Mrs. Gatsby? How the hell you came up with that?" Like, and it was fucking weird because I started writing the song, and it didn't. Mrs. Gatsby wasn't even the name of the song. It was supposed to be Mr. Gatsby, and somehow I was just talking about a female, and the shit just turned into like it just happened. But the shit is dope, yo. It's dope.
Okay. Well, you just mentioned Atlanta. We are in Atlanta. Yeah. You're performing tonight here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then I know you say you got a show in Cali tomorrow.
Yeah, I got a show in Cali tomorrow, man. That's gonna be different. It's at a smaller venue though. It's
okay.
not. Yeah, it's not anything like. I mean, I guess it's not like A3C weekend.
Right.
It's actually like a small venue. I linked up with a guy from my last performance that I had in Cali. I linked up with a guy that, he throws his own showcases. So he has me coming up there tomorrow to do a show in LA. So hopefully that goes well. And that's all I'm trying to do now is widen that market.
Right.
I'm trying to step out of New York, get into different places, because I see people get stuck. A lot of people get stuck, and the only way to really build to build a buzz about yourself is to hit other territory, is to get into other territories, so that's really what I'm trying to do now, is just get my name mentioned here and there. If one person, if one person or two people follow me from Cali, that's two followers from a whole nother side of America.
Right.
That who knows where that could go? Who knows who they know, who they may bump into?
Yeah, for sure.
What song they may like? Like, you never knows. But getting out there, I would have never, got those super followers from California. You know what I mean? If I didn't go out there, I would have never done any kind of business in California if I would have never went out there. Like, so it's like, for me, that's the joy. That's me investing in my music. That's me investing in my passion. Is me taking these trips and me not being afraid to take the trips on my own. I'm not afraid to spend the money. I'm not scared to spend the money on myself, because I know it's worth it. Okay.
Now, do you have any other upcoming performances you already know about?
As far as the performances, no. Not that I know about, but I'm like always open and available for them. But I got a whole team that sets that up. I don't even deal with that.
Right.
Like, literally, I get, yo, do you want to do this? And I go, yeah, or I go, no. And like, that's how it comes to me. So,
right.
Like, if something else does come to me, then I make my choice if I do it or not. If it makes sense for me. But as far as this in Cali, no. Really, what I've been trying to do is just stay in the studio for the most part. Stay in the studio, and just, what I mean, like, seeing what comes my way. If it makes sense.
Okay.
If it makes sense, I'll work with it. If it don't make sense for what I'm doing, then I'm not gonna do it. And and that's really what it is.
All right. Well, for the people that's watching this and they like everything you're talking about, let them know your Instagram, Twitters, any way they can get in contact with you in case they want to book you for something or they want to follow your movement. Okay,
so everything is Who Is Roise, WHOISROISE. Royce spelled that way because Royce the 5'9" is spelled ROYCE. And the funny thing, so you asked me about how I got my name. It's funny how I got my name. I started off as what did I start off as? As D-boy, right? I started off as D-Boy. So my Instagram was D-Boy Rise, R-I-S-E. My friend thought it said D-Boy Roise. So like he started calling me Roise. Like naturally he started calling me Roise. And I'm like, why are you calling me Roise? And he's like, yo, you know, he like, yo, like, ain't that what your Instagram? I'm like, bro, you can't read? Like, no, it says D-Boy Rob. So, but I like the name. It sounds like it's appealing. It has everything that I needed for myself, like to build that artist up. You know, like to take on another character, somebody bigger than myself. Like, I felt like Roise was the name. And then, you know, I started looking into, like, you know, you can always look up meanings in, what do they call it? Like, the where the word comes from, the root of where the word comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is, when I did my research on where the word comes from, it stems from Roy, R-O-I. If I'm not mistaken, it's that's the Greek. It's the Greek meaning for king. If I'm not mistaken, I know it's either Greek or French, one of them. But it's like like it's for king though. It's for king. It stems from that. So, you know, that's when it kind of stuck with me. Once I did the research on it and I seen, oh, R-O-I is king. So I'm like, I bet. Like, it just fits right in to everything I'm doing. And if you look at my logo, the R with the crown, that just fits everything. After I did my research, the R with the crown just, like, like, for me, it spoke for me. Got my logo on there. And that meant everything to me. It showed everything that I believe in. I feel like, you know.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, is there anything else you want to leave us with before we get out of here?
I mean, just stay tuned, feed into it. I'm telling you, it's worth it. The music is there, you know, and yeah, stay tuned, man. Word. We gonna work.
All right, it's your boy Rick Dange here with Roise, signing off for HipHopSince1987.com.
Shout my hip-hop since 1987 niggas. Hip-hop since 1987.com.
Yeah, I was there when Drake first came through, you know what I'm saying? That nigga came through professional as a motherfucker, yeah? Like, for real. I ain't even gonna stand, you know what I'm saying? For real, that nigga came through portfolio.
So your time there during that period was how? You know, how was your time there during the period, you know, dealing with the whole Cash Money emergence, going to
it was,
the next
I ain't gonna, like, we did our separate thing from them, you know what I'm saying? Like, we wasn't, you know, like, so much, like, intertwined with whatever, you know, Baby and them and shit was doing, you feel me? Like, we was, you know, like, in our own shit, you know what I'm saying? We had our own, you know, studio sessions, booked our own, you know what I'm saying? You know, going on the road doing our own shows.